Hello, everybody. It's Justin. This game right here is called Dust, and I love this game. Look how dope it is. Just look at it. Anyway, um, one of the big reasons why I like this game so much is because it is 2D hand-drawn animation for the most part. Mostly Dust. I mean, it all is, but he did some techniques to not animate the enemies in a traditional animation like he did Dust. So it's really incredible work. But anyway, I digress. What I thought the Lord was saying for me to tell you guys is to take care. Take care. So this is really interesting idea that we have in society where, and I've said this before about rest and everything, but taking care is a little bit different. But at the same time, there is this weird thing in our society where we're encouraged to go a little bit too hard, and we don't think to actually take care of ourselves. Like, that's a forgotten thing to do. Like, we, as Americans, we go so fast and so hard, and that we just kind of forget to do that. And it's a weird thing to forget. Forget about taking care of the temple. As believers, we forget about taking care of the temple, especially that. Like, if I have a full video of that, it's about taking care of the temple. I say that's one of the unmentionable sins that we do, is that we overeat way too much. We don't take care of our bodies, especially. I'm guilty of that too. I have a different problem where I don't exercise, so I don't take care of my body in terms of exercising. So, which is not good. Even though I'm very, very thin, and if anything, I could stand to gain some weight. But in either case, I'm not taking care of what I got right now, so that's not good. Taking care of that, just proper stewardship, essentially. Taking care of what it is that God's given to us. I find it interesting, this idea of, is not sometimes necessarily what it is that you're doing or what it is that you've received or whatever, but who it is you're doing it for and who it is that you receive it from. So, if my mom, for example, when I was a kid, gave me a guitar, I'd be like, oh, wow, this is really, really great. Thank you so much, Mom. Now, if like Prince or Steven Tyler, gave me, that's not the right person. Okay, I'm off my guitar, people. Anyway, like if Jimi Hendrix gave me a guitar, let's say that Jimi Hendrix gave me a guitar, then I would, or I got a guitar from Jimi Hendrix. I know that Jimi Hendrix is dead, but still. But if I got something from Jimi Hendrix and I respected that guy so much, I would just baby that guitar all the time. I would just put that on a pedestal. I would clean it every day. I would take care of it. I would do everything in the world to just make sure that nothing bad happened to that particular guitar. Same thing with a lot of stuff. It's about who, gives us these items, or what's the value attached to it. It's really a who question, not necessarily a what question. Someone can give you, for example, and this happens to missionaries sometimes. Well, some kid might give a missionary some kind of little doll, and it'll be a raggedy doll. It won't be anything of any type of value, but they will absolutely cherish that doll because this little kid from another country that didn't have squat, especially compared to what we got, gave that doll or that object or whatever it may be to one of these kids, and it's like that holds so much more value. It's so much more valuable. So you might be able to see where I'm going with this. How much more value should we be stewarding things with God? How much more valuable? Like, sometimes there's these things that God gives you and you just know that, okay, like, there had to be a wide series of events and chains of things that have happened in order for me to do this. So this is nothing but God. Nothing but God. And yes, he gives all these things and takes away and everything else, but when you have that clear thing where it's like definitely 100% God, you'd be like, man. And then we don't treat it right. And this is God, like this is the Lord of all, creator of the universe, and sometimes we look at that as being really, really regular, And I guess in a certain sense it is, because that's all that we know. All that we know is everything that's created around us. And it's sometimes difficult to appreciate what God gives you when it's very, very regular around you. But there are certain things that you have prayed for and asked for that, you wouldn't have it if not for those prayers, because some supernatural stuff happened to where, okay, clearly this was God, and I am thankful for that. So a lot of times we can spare to take better care of that and steward these things, especially in terms of finances, in terms of those little inconspicuous events that land us something that we were really, really needing and in dire need of, and he comes through with us. So this idea is, I don't know, it's kind of frustrating for me personally. Like, I remember I came home from the Christian Game Developers Conference, and I was needing a bigger scanner. And I was like, Lord, I just need a bigger scanner. And literally, when I came home, after about praying about this for like a month, when I came home, there was literally a scanner the size of exactly what I needed on the curb in front of someone's house. I plugged it, I took it home. It was like a block from my house. So I put it in my car, took it home, plugged it in. The thing actually works. But there's some drivers and some other things that need to happen with it in order for that to really work properly, just the scanner. But it's still out there in my garage, and I haven't really touched it. Like, stuff like that. It's just like, really, bruh? Like, come on. It's vexing. Gosh, this game is dope. Anyway, so I just encourage you guys to really steward over what God has given you, because just like anything else, like sometimes a parent will say to you, now if you don't treat that right that I gave you, I'm not going to give you anything else. Like if you lose your 3DS or you lose your Game Boy for us old fogies out here, but if you lose your Game Boy, I'm not going to give you another one. So I don't know why we sometimes think that God is kind of the same way. He's like, look, if you're in charge of this, I'll put you in charge of much. But if you can't even steward this little bit that I'm giving you, I know you don't appreciate it. And so therefore you have no value in what it is I'm giving to you. So therefore, why am I going to steward you and put you in charge of more than I'm already giving you, if you're not respecting what it is that I've already put before you? So just something to kind of keep in mind is to take care. And that goes with everything. Our finances, our health, our relationships. Just take care. Our relationship with God, take care of these things, take care. A lot of this is work, and that's fine, but you get this greater sense of appreciation and thankfulness and thanksgiving, and God really blesses that, and is worth it. It's really, really worth it to do that, and gotta stop thinking that this stuff is regular, because it's not. It's a gift, and it's wonderful, and I just praise God for it. So I just want to say that to you guys. That's my time. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I have a Patreon. The description is going to be in, the Patreon page is going to be in the description. So go ahead and get in where you fit in. And Lord willing, I will talk to you later. And I'll be talking to you more also about Kingdom Arts. Super excited about that. And that's going to be a really interesting thing in terms of my actual ministry. That's going to be launching very, very soon. I mentioned it last week, but I'm going to make sure I take my time and make sure I set things up properly before I really start sharing. All right, guys. Loves and hugs. Bye-bye. Thank you once again to my Patreon supporters. It means so much to me. Just look at them. Just look at these people. Just look at it.